Breaking news, Qantas has just announced plans to fast-track international flights, with Australia's border now opening earlier than planned.
Yep, flights from Sydney to Singapore will resume next month, 4 weeks ahead of schedule, with routes to Bangkok, Phuket, Johannesburg and Fiji also being brought forward.
Bali?
Yes, the Flying Kangaroo will also launch a new route to Delhi, taking off as early as Christmas.
Qantas Chief Executive Alan Joyce joins us now. Alan, this is such great news. Have you had to schedule these flights and bring them forward because of the demand?
Yes, apparently, Koshi. So the real benefit, the real reason is the federal government announcing the 1st of November, and then the New South Wales government saying that there wouldn't be requirements for quarantine for fully vaccinated passengers, and then demand went off. We've added 20 flights to London, and some of them sold out in just a few hours. And now, thanks to your help, last Tuesday, we did the biggest redemption day in our history of frequent flyer points. 500 million frequent flyer points were redeemed, a lot of them on international. So we're seeing the huge pent-up demand of people wanting visiting family and friends, wanting that holiday, want to reunite with those loved ones. So that gave us confidence to bring forward these 5 destinations, and the confidence to bring back the A380s from the desert. They've been there since last March, and one of the aircraft will arrive back into Australia on Christmas Day. What a great Christmas present for the Qantas group, for the Qantas employees. So we're pretty excited about what we're seeing as amazing demand.
Yeah, this is a huge day, really, after all this time. March 2020, when you guys stopped. We all remember that fateful day, don't we? So also Bali by Christmas for the eastern seaboard. Is that right, Alan?
Yes, so we're still talking to the Indonesian government about making sure that the quarantine in Bali is doable, because at the moment it's 7 days in your hotel room, so nobody's going to do that. But the Prime Minister who was here said he's talking to the Indonesian President that's going to help us with that, because he says the Indonesian President wants to open up Bali, wants to get the tourists back. And so we're confident that it will happen sometime in the near future, hopefully before Christmas. Jetstar was the largest airline operating into Bali. It had more flights than any other airline. Australians were the largest visitors. They need Australians back, and we're getting more confident that we'll get that open hopefully by Christmas.
So, Alan, all these changes and flights being brought forward at the moment all through Sydney, how often or how quickly do you think the other states will allow you to do the same for Victorians and Queenslanders, South Australians and West Aussies?
Yeah, so I think the Premier here has led the way on saying that fully vaccinated passengers don't need to be quarantined, which is the way the rest of the global cities in the world are actually gone. And given our high level of vaccinations here in New South Wales, that makes absolute sense. So we're hearing maybe today the Victorians will announce the same thing. And if that's the case, we will try and bring forward our flights that are planning to take place in December into November. We have a flight from Melbourne to London and a flight from Melbourne to LA. But New South Wales has moved first. They get as much capacity as we can put in, and are hoping that the other states will move quickly so we can also bring forward the flights that were due to take place in those states.
Right.
Victoria today, hopefully Queensland very soon. And what's also good, Koshi, is we're now getting certainty on the domestic borders, with Queensland opening up before Christmas. We believe Tasmania will open up before Christmas. I was talking to the Premier of South Australia. When he gets to 80%, he will get there. So we're planning at the moment to get to 100% of our pre-COVID schedule domestically in January, which gets everybody except for Western Australia back together again, and allows us to start boosting the tourism market into Queensland.
Yeah, WA obviously sometime next year, and also for the first time in nearly 10 years, Sydney to Delhi early December. It is great news, Alan Joyce. We're very happy to talk to you today, and I know Australians are very happy to hear that news. Thank you.
Thanks very much. And the other big news, which is the most important thing for me, is we'll have all 22,000 of our Australian employees back working at the start of December, which I think is phenomenal news from them and their families.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is the human side of these businesses opening up, jobs and keeping families alive financially.